Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar, our EPSmomentum.com webinar. Today, we are going to look at slopes and trend and how we can use the system to detect stocks that are heading one way or another. Without further ado, I'd like to maybe wait a minute or so. I've put in the chat, you can ask your questions if you have some that you may see on the side. There's a chat box where you can put your questions in. Okay, so let's get started. So this is the main landing page or the markets page where you can monitor the markets and the indices and news and sector and so on. And then you can go straight into the stock scanners. You can also click on stock scanners, will get you straight there. So what we have is on one side the fundamentals, on the other the price action scanners. So really I can focus on the most up, most down, up on volume, down on volume. I can filter for liquid US or large cap, small cap. And if you only have a few minutes, you can just focus on the upward sloping, upward trending, or downward sloping and trending stocks. And very quickly, you have an answer. You have the main, the most positive trends you can find. If you hover your mouse on the title of the column, it will, after 2 seconds, show you the actual field. So this is the 20-day change. It's up 19% in 20 days. You can see this really pushing higher up there. And then Resi here, same thing, upward sloping chart, NEM. So the way we achieve this is we create several regression lines along the chart, and it will give you only the charts that are upward sloping in somewhat of a straight line or exponential, which is truly helpful. So this is only if you have 1 minute. You log in on the site, and then you have upward sloping, downward sloping, and you can pick stocks that are going downward. So the other way around here, and we can see quickly downward stocks and so on. If you need to obviously pull up a chart and have a better view of the stock, you can insert a widget here and just pulling the chart. Any of those screeners scanners here can be run on anything and everything. So you can go up volume, down volume, or you can go upward sloping or downward sloping or positive breakout, right? So positive breakout, you'll get you get a positive breakout here. Despite the fact that it's downward sloping here, you get a positive breakout. So here's a chart that you can add. You can also, again, as I said, use the scanner for the trend or the direction. But what we're going to do today is go over how we can use the scanners. We've seen it. It's pretty self-explanatory here. But how we can hone in on stocks that are really trending in one direction or another. So first, let me go to the monitor, and I am going to spend 3 minutes explaining what the timing momentum is. So the timing momentum is this set of analytics here, which the goal is to very quickly give you a green or red picture, so green up or red picture down about a stock. It stacks up 5 different indicators. One being the trend. So the trend is, view it like a Keltner bands, so really bands that are following a moving average. If the stock is going outside of this band, on the upside, it's an upward trend. If they go on the downside, it's a red downward trend. And if it's orange, it means it's oscillating. So you see that period here is an oscillation, right? So this is the trend indicator. We'll see on the screener how we can use this. So it gives you a good idea of what it's trending, oscillating, going up or going down based on moving averages. The price momentum slope is a different thing. So here, what we are calculating is the acceleration of the price. See how the price accelerate really drastically here? So it actually turns from red, which was a fairly decelerating, although price is going up, it's been decelerating. So it's really the rate of change. It's based on the rate of change and the acceleration of the price. So that price momentum, this is the slope of the price momentum. So it's even more aggressive. So it's a short window between 6 to 9 days. So it tells you if the slope is higher up, which it is here, so it's accelerating, or if it's heading downward, right? So here we have a positive thing here. Relative market rank is what is called on, I mean, maybe on some of the system, the relative strength. So the relative strength is how is this stock compared to all the other ones, all the 4,000 other ones in the database, right? So how is it? So, and here we have the ability to have a breakdown of it. I'll bring both of them, the RMR 1 month all the way to 1 year, and the RMR composite. So I'll bring both of them. You'll understand. So these are the RMR in red, the 1 year, in orange, the 6 months, in 3 months, and 1 month. So the yellow one is the 1 month, and the most sensitive. So we can see that the yellow is shooting up drastically, and the 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year are slowly gaining traction. So they're all between 0 to 100, 100 being the maximum and 0 being the minimum. And when we say that the RMR 1 month is 80, it means that it beats the 1 month performance of the stock, beats 80% of all the stocks in the database. If the 1 year RMR is 56, that means the 1 year performance of that stock beats 56% of all the stocks in the database, right? And the composite here is basically the RMR market, the relative market rank is basically the composite of all 4 of them, right? So here you have a 75. That means if we, kind of put all weights on all 4 of them and create a composite out of it, 75% of the market rank here, the stock beats 75% of the stock in the database. So if I click on a Google, for example, to get another opinion, we got an RMR of 92. So Google is way up there, being one of the best stocks out there right now. By the way, we can obviously in the monitor insert the RMR very quickly. Just tap RMR here, and then you have it as a column. You can take that column, move it here, and then you have the RMR column. You can get rid of those columns by just clicking on the column title, and this one as well. And maybe you don't want to see the market cap as well. Simplifying it all, and then you can filter by RMR, and that's it. So Tesla here has the highest RMR composite, and we can see it here. By the way, everything that I did here is trend. I can add the trend here. I can see which one is up, down, or consolidating. I can add the price momentum slope. I can have it as a number, so I can sort. Or I can have it as a figure, so positive or negative, which is the signal, heading upward, heading downward. We have the signal, which is up momentum, overall up momentum. And then we have the slope of that signal. So it's up, but heading up further. Or it's upward. Let's take this example. This one, for example, is an upward momentum, but it's heading downward. The last 2-3 days have been heading downward, right? So it's important to get the distinction here. So you can add any analytics here on the side in your monitor and then close the monitor. You can then save your monitor, of course. So we've done the RMR, and I am going to go over the power days. So power days is what you have here at the bottom. So that's the 4th indicator that you see here, red, green, and so on. The power days is also here, those little P's that you see here, 195. So the power days is unique to our system. You won't find it anywhere. We have a full self-explanatory tutorial in the Knowledge Lab that you can read. I'll show you in a second. But what does it do? So let me pull up a few of the other indicators there. And let me give me a second. Yep. So pull up the other indicators. Here you go. So we have the power day trend. So this is just a repeat of the fourth line here. So it's the exact same thing. So the power day trend tells you whether it's positive or negative. But the important thing here is the histograms. So here I can see 4.8, which I can see here as well, 4.88, which is the quantity of standard deviation. So actually I can move this one up. Right, so now what is this? So this is how many standard deviation the price and volume are moving on that day. So what we have a concept at EPS Momentum where there's only a few days in a year where it's important for you to notice or to follow the stock. Those are the days where price and volume are extremely high and signal a change of trend. So for example, we have 3 power days here of 2, 1, and 2.2 and 3.37 standard deviation pretty much in a row in a time span of 5 days. And it pushes the stock higher up, right? Up until it starts to collapse a little bit. And then we have a 361 negative point here that gets corrected back by a 488 upward power day. And then since then onward, it's a rally. So the power days are powerful enough. When they're powerful enough, like this one, 4.88, it is a trend for the long haul, right? So we have positive. We have a little bit of a negative here, 2.21, and it's countered a few days later. So barely any downtrend here. So the power days are here. It's less volatile than the trends or the moving averages that you can find. But it's based on a different thing, which is the volume and the price, not just on price. It's not on price per moving average, also is price on standard deviations of move and the volume on standard deviation of move. So it's the value traded for the day. So if you will, it's the amount of dollar that are pushing the stock up or down at any given point in time compared to history and standard deviation. So that gives you really an amazing edge. And then the last one is the EMA 2050. So that's the cross between the EMA 20 and 50. So the exponential moving average 2050. Let me know in the question if I go too fast, too quick, or if you have any comment on anything. So the EMA is obviously slower, less volatile. So here it will give you a buy. Here it will give you a sell. And then here it turns green. So that would be a buy here. Will be all the way to here. And then down all the way to here. Maybe missed a little bit of the rally here, but then rally. So this is really I'll say the long haul, longer horizon type of indicator. But having all of these into one is really visually appealing because I can see all the greens in a nice way. So once we have this, we can go in the screener. So I can either pull up another dashboard or do whatever I want. Or just I can also pull up the screener on the monitor page, on the monitor dashboard. I can create additional dashboard if I want. So let's go into the screener. I open up the settings here. I have my chart on the side, and I'm going to maybe clean up a little bit of the columns here. I'm going to clean them up all the way. Maybe I'm going to remove that names. Okay, so we got price, change since the close, and then the 5-day change. So let's focus on what we've learned, the timing momentum. So there is, I'm going to show you a brand new field that is coming out really tomorrow, actually Monday. It's the timing momentum. So here you have the ability to filter the timing momentum by numbers. So obviously, if there's one green, it's a 1. If there's 2 greens, it's a 2. If it's a 5, there's 5 greens. It's a 0. It's no greens. It's all red. So here, this is an all red or yellow. Here's a 1, right? So we just have 1 green. Here's a 3. This one is really not an interesting stock. Maybe missing some data here too. Yeah, the stocks that are like $1, let's get rid of them right now. So I can go into price, and I can put minimum $10 if I'm looking for interesting names. Or I can click on market cap. There's a filter market cap on 5 million here. I can make it so it's like a billion, for example, or billion 5, billion 6. I can just type the value I want. All right, so now we should have a little bit more interesting names. This one is a 5, AON, all 5. See how it's all really, really there, and interesting. Now, the other thing, so I'm going to type timing momentum again. Timing momentum. The other one is the direction, right? So timing direction, um, this tracks the last 10 days of activity of timing momentum. So think of it like if there's one more green compared to yesterday, I put a +1. If there's one more green, I put another +1. If there's one more red, I put a -1. So then you can see the direction by sorting. And then you can see this one is a 1 and has been a -3. So it's been declining in the last 10 days, right? Specifically in the last 5 days, because it just sums up things from 10 days, but it will reset when there's a change of trend. So this is a -4, really heading downward for the past 4 days, and it's a 1. So what I suggest you do if you're looking for stocks that are in good direction, like good positive direction, first select timing momentum, put a 3 here. The 3 will give you names that are in green territory, that mostly in green territory, and then maybe that timing direction, maybe you only so timing, click on timing direction, it'll pull it up here, and then you put something in the likes of at least positive, at least 1, right? So now we have, how many names do we have here? We have 397 names. Those are the top notch, top 5, positive. Look at this, rallying very nicely, very nicely, right? So this is a classic plateau, and then turning around here positively. Now let's have a look at this stock, and that's actually a good example that we can spend some time on. So here, this stock is interesting because it's trending. It's getting greener and greener here on many indicators, but it's trending. And it's trending, oscillating. So let me show you. You just have the word trend, and then you would click here, trend, and then you would have the actual trends of every single stock. As you can see, this one is consolidating in yellow. So it means it's kind of flattish, no real uptrend compared to this one, for example. There you go. This one is the clear uptrend, FX green. It's been consolidating, but now in an uptrend. Let's pick another one. In an uptrend as well. Let's pick a consolidating one. Right. So this is been either consolidating, I mean, maybe breaking out tomorrow, or about to break out. Really on the fringe. This one is consolidating as well. It's kind of flat in a box. Call it boxing, like a little Davos box concept. This one is kind of consolidating. It's been consolidating here, jumped a little bit, and then now back to consolidation mode. So what you can do is you can say, I only want uptrend, and then you filter and you only get uptrend. So that's obviously you getting stringent here and asking for that trend indicator to always be positive. So now I have 200 names that are there, that are key and positively up in a trend, and yeah, and then right there. Now, one of my favorite is the power day, of course. This is so powerful, hence the name. So the power day is a fourth indicator here. I want to see positive power day or positive. I want to override the power day here, and specifically, out of the 3 or the 5 that of the timing indicator that are green, I want the power day trend to be positive. So I want that thing to be positive. So we have a couple of things: positive, negative, um, um, positive pending, and negative pending. So I'll explain what it is. Maybe I'll put it in a bit bigger view. So you can click on enlarge here, and then you have enlarge view. So here you have, usually when you have a power day, you have a battle between the bulls and bears, and this battle takes place over several days. So here the bears are pushing the price down. There's a reaction from the bulls saying, no, no, we're buying here. And then the bear go, no, no, we're selling. So this is a positive, but a positive pending, meaning it just happened to show up right after a negative, and we're waiting for the next day to be neither positive nor negative, like flat. And it's not, it's positive. So that positive has been invalidated by a sudden negative of 241. That positive at 358, which is pretty significant. That's why it also helps to have that power days here, because you can see the scale of the move. So see, this is a very major scale, very important scale here. Um, and here in that battle, that green line is pretty high up. We have some twos, two, almost three, 2.2, and then a 3.5. So that's pretty significant, right? But then we have a 241. So this is kind of negative. And guess what it does? Flat and then collapses. So that guy was really right. That's why it's positive pending. It's not confirmed. All right, so we're down to here, trend positive, power day. So now I have forced or hard coded that the first one, the trend, and the fourth one, the power day, are both positive, right? So this is my prerequisite. So I can see some Apple, I can see some couple of guys here, Workday. Let's look at Workday, see where they are at. So Workday is interesting. It's been negative from a moving average for quite a while, and all of a sudden it just tilted, like the moving average just turned green. 2 positive power day in a row. EM is 0, so I guess getting better. I mean getting worse. It was 5 before. Sorry, 8, 5. Price is really not going anywhere, but it's kind of maybe trending a little bit, like 2 power days, and everything kind of turned green now. So that's interesting. Now, the other thing that you might want to do, so we can talk about um, estimates. So in this stocks where I don't, price is not really telling, nor is earning momentum is 0. It's not 25 or 28 or minus 17. It's kind of flat. Everything looks flat here. The price looks flat. The earning momentum looks flat. So I'm kind of puzzled. You know, what do I think about this name? So one way of finding out is to bring in the sorry, bring in the estimates. So the estimates are those 4 data sets here: earning per share revision score from Zacks, sales revision score from Zacks, earning per share revision score from FinHub, and sales from FinHub. So those are 2 different sources, so you can compare them. And you can pull in earning per share and sales from, let's say, Zach, and pull it up there. So this is what I'm getting. So what I'm seeing, and the reason for that positiveness, if we could call it positive, is that earning per share revisions from analysts estimates is up, and is up significantly, right? Sales is a little bit down here, which is maybe not a great signal. So I am going to bring in even more. I'm going to shut off the timing momentum, but I'm going to bring even more data set. I'm going to bring my second data set of earning per share and sales. So as per my second data set, what I can see is positive earning per share revision up. And the sales have been corrected down, but then back up again. So here I have two different sets of analysts that are almost saying the same thing, except that little sales number. So it looks like both sales and earning per share are kind of turning around and pushing the stock up. So everything looks flat here, but on the surface, but the analysts are positive on the name and getting more and more positive. So this is how we kind of break the tie, if you want, when you have just when relying on price is not enough. The other way to break the tie is you click on the dark shorts and the slope, but let's click on just the dark short. So the dark short is the institutions buy side buying the stock off exchange on dark pool. So it's called dark shorts because really market maker being short in front of the buyers who are long. So those here we have a fixed 56. So it's kind of in the middle, so it's not significant. I wouldn't say it's significant. You can pull up the dark short widget completely, and here you have the percentile. So you have 75 percentile, which is let me just remove the price. So we're 75 percentile, which is, yeah, I mean, it's high up there, but doesn't look like there's any breakout. So this will not be a significant significant factor. But these are the kind of things that you can do to hone in on good stocks. Now, of course, what you usually do here is once you've narrowed down to prices, then you pull up the earning momentum, right? So you put up the earning momentum and you say, I want the earning momentum to be at least positive. Give me the names that are positive, right? So just a reminder, earning momentum gives you the earning analysis. Let me pull that up. So the earning analysis here is telling you the following. The earning per share, the sales, the profit margin, all four of them are here. And you can see the progression of all these variables. So the last number is minus 0.8. Last year, at the same period, it was minus 121. So that's an improvement of 33% and a deceleration compared to the previous quarter, because the previous quarter was accelerating at 65%. So it's decelerating. So earning per share is decelerating. Sales is accelerating 12% growth and 9% acceleration, which is very good. So if we click on any name here, we have an EM of 5. You can see the EM here. It's actually 455, rounded up to 5. We have EM23 as well. And we can pull it up on the chart, bigger chart. And what we get is a view of not only the stock, but also the earning momentum. At every quarter, you see if the earning momentum is significantly higher than the previous and positive. So when it starts to become positive, EM3, look at that, the stock is actually rallying. This is $43. EM8 is improving. 0, a little bit of a accident there, and then EM28, truly impressive growth. EM26, and then it's on and it rallies. So we used to say, or we say, that any EM greater than 20 is a slam dunk, and it is. You know, that was 78, was $73 about a year ago, maybe a year and a month ago, and then you get a second confirmation with EM26, and then from then on, now it's 260, right? So this is the type of thing where you hone in on stocks that have best EM. That would be a great start, and we can even pull in the revision score. The estimates revision score. So estimate revision score for this period. So we don't have a lot of history here. That's interesting. Usually we have a little bit more, but usually we have 10 years of history, but for this name, we don't. Maybe we'll pick another name. There you go. So on this one, we have a little bit more history. Sometimes it's a small cap and it just not covered enough by analysts. And we have the dark short as well. But what we can see here is estimates revision up and up and up. Then the stock collapses a little bit, and then flat, and then resume its upward course and up and up and up. And that's what you get, some nice trend and upward sloping stocks. So that's it. Any question on this? Let me know on the chat if you have any question. You guys are pretty quiet today, but that means it's great. That means I'm either very clear or you're all sleeping already. So that's cool. And I can filter by EM here and pick some of the best ones, like SoFi. Look at these guys, right? So again, this is timing momentum being a 5. The timing direction is a 2, so it's improving drastically. It's all green, so if I pull up the timing momentum again, it's there, all green. I'm gonna remove the dark short. So all green, almost. So this one is a 5. So it's just today has been green. So we'll have it refresh during the day. And so yeah, this is very good. So one of the other thing that you can do is use technical indicators. So technical indicators are all in the studies here. So this is a classic come up with the chart trading view, technical indicators. But we have things that are really powerful that I need to tell you because it really stands out. I mean, makes you, makes it truly unique. You have the ability to design your shape of the chart. Actually, this may be a project that we'll develop at some point in time, but let me explain what I'm going to do here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few points on the curve, and basically tell you what I am going to generate with the screener. So what we're attempting to do here is the following. I am going to draw, you can pull up this little drawing map here. I'm going to draw from this point, I'm going to take 10 days backward and draw the regression line. So the line that kind of passes in the middle of all of them, right? So that's based on that day here, right? Yeah. Let's make it that day here. So that's the blue line. You know what? Let me make it yellow. Right. That's the yellow line, right? So how do I do this? Very simple. I am going to put myself on all here and type slope. So the slope here, there's 3 slopes: price slope 10 days ago, price slope 20 days ago, and price slope 60 days ago, right? So those 4 price slopes. So how am I going to use these? Super simple. So first, the price slope. Right now, I can say I want the 5-day regression line or the 10-day regression line. So here I took 10. So I'm going to display the column 10 day, right? So this is the 10-day regression line today, right? I am not going to take the 10 days ago one. I'm going to focus on the 20 days ago. Now I am going to take the 20-day ago point, which could be about here, right? And same thing, I'm going to draw a line that crosses 20 days all the way to that 20-day mark. So say something like this, right? Something that goes over all of them. I'm going to make it red, right? So we get a yellow line, we get a red line, and now I have 2 points. So what I need to do here is the 20-day, 20 days ago, right? So these are the two columns that I have here. Okay. So first off, the first thing I can do is I can sort the column and pull up the names. Okay, we need to actually filter on market cap here. Otherwise, market cap is good. Actually, maybe it's good. Right. So PACS. Right. So see, this is extremely high. So this is 1,770%. That means if that slope carries on for one full year, it'll be 1,000% up, 1,700% up, right? Well, let's take something more reasonable. Let's say a 200% TLN, Thailand Energy, right? Then what I have is a really upward sloping for the first 10 days here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 10-day, and what I want is something positive, at least 5% annualized, right? So I want something positive. I want something that goes up, right? And for the 20-day point, remember it's that 20-day point and it's the 20-day regression line. What I want here is something very positive. So I put the 20-day point, and I want to put something positive. Let's say I want something that is, let's say 10%, and so that will be very positive. Okay, so now we have 379 names. What I want now is the price slope 60-day. So this is interesting. And what I'm going to do here, oops, sorry, price slope 60 days ago, I'm going to take the 40 days, the last 40 days of that price slope 60-day. Okay. So that means, you know, we took the first day, we took the 20-day, now we're taking the 60-day, and we're getting back 40 days back. But this time, instead of a positive trend, I'm going to do a negative one. So I'm going to do at least minus 10%. Sorry, minus 10%. So in theory, it should go U-shape, like downward for 40 days, 60 days ago, and then upward from them on. So let's see if we're right. Yes, we're kind of right. So we have a downward slope and then a steep turnaround. Let's pick another one. Does it work? Yes, it does work. We have a downward slope and then a steep turnaround, right? So see how this is very, very powerful. So because I sorted on the 10-day here, I have the steepest of all turnarounds here, but I can say, just give me this guy, CRH. What I do have is a downward slope and then a positive turnaround. So you can design things as you want by playing with those slopes and those points. So again, there's the slope today, the slope 10 days ago, the slope 20 days ago, and the slope 60 days ago. For every single of them, you can have the 5, 10, 20, 40, and sometimes 60-day regression line, right? That you can call it the slope direction that you can customize, and you can paint it on the table, right? So this is really handy. So if I want a quick and dirty one where again I want stock that are in turnaround here. So I'm going to keep the two criteria that I've done already. I'm going to insert a timing momentum. I'm going to mandate it to be a free, which is what it is. And I want a timing direction to be positive. Maybe at least a 1. And yeah, so I should have 65 stocks. And let's go crazy. Let's go revision score. estimates revision score change in value. You have percent change, but let's do change in value. And I want the change in value over the last 90 days to be positive, at least 0, or at least 1, for example. Well, let's call it 0.5. And now I have 31 names. So I have stocks that are going down, but revision score improving over the last 90 days. So analysts are positive on the name. And I want stocks that are turning around and heading upward with almost perfect timing momentum and in timing momentum direction improving. And on top of that, I want to put earning momentum positive, right? Maybe greater than 0. There you go. So I've been very stringent. So I only have a few names here. Let's see if they match my criteria. And they do. So here's the name where the stock went down significantly, going back up very nicely. We can pull up the timing momentum to see if we're all green here. We have 4 greens. It is. You would have known about here. That would have been a 5 green here or 4 green. Definitely a cutoff here. You have a power day of 2.86 and then several power days of 4 and 2 in a row. So pretty significant here. You would quote it also here, maybe, with those 3 power days and all green here. So that's another possibility. I have this one here, ALHC, Lineman Health. Same configuration, downward, upward, EM31, turning super green and positive here. It just turned green today, literally, after a few. So the timing momentum direction is just 1. That's why it just improved a lot. The power day is negative, so a little bit of a dark sign here. So don't, if you see a power day being negative and the stock rallies, it doesn't mean it's wrong. It means that there's a hanging cloud that, I'll show you in a second what I'm talking about. It means that potentially it could be something hidden in the market. So see, either something significant happened on that day, or there was a massive, a massive down move. Although it ended up as a positive move, but it went down significantly and then finished up. But it's been categorized as a negative power day. But you'll see, maybe it will drop a cliff in the next few days. So I'll be cautious on this one. Yeah, you can click on all these and they have the configuration that we asked for. How about this one? Yeah, it went down and then went back up. Okay, so this is, again, couldn't be any more powerful than this. Just to summarize, so the timing momentum, you can customize it. You get a power days, you get a relative market rank. You can even put the RMR in there to filter further. And on top of all this, you can ask the scorer. So you can click on the scorer and you can say, give me the best EM, give me the best RMR, give me the best, well, I don't know. How about price slope? Price slope 60-day, and I want the actually no, price slope 60-day, price slope right now, and I want the 20-day price slope. The higher is better, and I also want the estimates in value, and I want the estimates since earning day to be the highest. So I'll equal weight everything 25-25. I'll click on run. Not many stocks to score here, but if I had to pick any of the stocks, LHC, according to my criteria, is the best. Is the one that goes higher up with the best estimates, revisions, EBC is another one, Eastern Bank Share. Look at this, EM22 rallying up, and yeah, I mean pretty nice here. So I hope you found it useful. I mean, I can give you a glance. So this is a dev platform. The timing momentum will be released maybe Friday or Monday, so you'll get it. I can also give you a brief preview of the AI analyst um, studies that we've built. So it's the summary of the earning transcripts. You have the earning transcript on one side, and then you have the summary of the document. You have the actual summary, which you can read. Then you have the historical comparison from the previous quarter or from a year ago, and the quarterly trend and what's going on with the company. You have the guidance, drivers, and forecasts, revenue guidance, negative impact, the forecasted actual numbers. And then you have the guidance compared to the competitors. So Nvidia, AVGO, TSMC, and AMD. And you can see their revenue, their growth, their gross margin, all based on source from the company. And then you have all these, operational efficiency, comp financial results, strategic initiatives. So what strategic initiative is Nvidia involved in, and so on. You also have a like an investor report that we generate from Nvidia, and you can pick all of the filings and transcripts or press release here. And you have the AK, the thank you summary or AK. So if you click on the thank you have the thank you document, and then you have the thank you summary here on the side. So summarized really nicely in a short paragraph. Same with the AK. You have the AK here, and it's all summarized. So all this is going to be released very soon. Same thing, probably next week. So that's exciting, and one of the things is, it will be a little bit everywhere on our platform. So if we have Nvidia here, you will have the text of the guidance right next to the earnings. So not only you have the earnings, but also you have the guidance that tells you where management is thinking the revenues will be or the margins. So yeah, it's really more context for you to rebound on. All right, that's it. I hope it was useful. Let me know if it was. I hope it was. Give me a little message on the chat if you think it was. You haven't been really talkative today in terms of question, which is great. I mean, maybe you understood everything. But yeah, just say hi or thank you if you are still there. And thank you very much for your time. And I hope you find it useful. Let me know if you have any questions. You can reach out to us on support@epsmomentum.com. And thank you very much for your time.